Hey guys, hi, welcome back. In this video, we will study the calorimetry principle. Okay, so the calorimetry principle, it is the indication of the law of conservation of energy. Okay, it is indicating the law of conservation of energy. Now, if you see that if you have an insulated system, then the total heat lost by the hot body, it will be equals to the total heat gained by the cold body. This is what the calorimetry principle says. Or in short, you can say heat gain, it is equals to heat lost. Right. Now, for this to understand more in a better way, if I explain more elaborately, suppose you have a system, okay, which is insulated, and when two bodies, okay, in an insulated system, they are placed in a physical contact with each other, then there will be transfer of heat, okay, from the body with higher temperature to the body with lower temperature, and heat gain will be equals to heat lost, and this is what the calorimetry principle says. All right, so this is the calorimetry principle. Now you see the heat transferred, okay, the heat transferred, it can be written as dq is equals to mc del T. Now here dq, it is the transfer of heat, m it is the mass of the body, c is the specific heat of the body, and del T, it is a change in the temperature, because when heat will be lost and when heat will be gained, there will be a final temperature, that means they will come in thermal equilibrium. So that particular temperature difference only you have to see from the initial one. Okay, now next you see, using the calorimetry principle, okay, we can find out the temperature at equilibrium. Okay, using calorimetry principle, using calorimetry principle, we can find the equilibrium temperature. Okay, we can find the equilibrium temperature. Now suppose I'm considering this to be a system. Okay, in the system, two bodies are kept in contact with each other, and the walls of the system are insulated. This is representing insulated walls. Okay, so the first body is at temperature T1, the second is at T2, mass is M1 and M2, specific heat is C1 and C2. Okay, now you see, whenever you are having an insulated system, that means what? No heat will be exchanged from the surrounding. Means the total heat will not change. Del Q will be equals to 0. Whatever the amount of heat will be exchanging, it will between, it is within the system. Okay, it is not outside the system. So del Q will be equals to 0. That means when it will come in thermal equilibrium, then you can say the temperature will be T, mass will be M1, M2, specific heat will be C1, C2, and the walls are insulated for this case. Okay, so this is representing insulated walls. Now I have already said, that dq, it is equals to mc dt, right? So if you see del q is equals to 0, that means the change in heat is 0. There is no extra heat added. So del q1, that is the heat of the first body, plus del q2, it is equals to 0, means the amount of heat gained or lost, the sum of that will be equals to 0. And it can be written as what? Integration of mc dt plus integration of mc dt. So you see here, this is m1, this is m2, this is for the first body, this is for the second body, this will be c1, this will be c2. All right, now dt, it is the change in the temperature. So the integration limit will be what? From initial to final. So the initial for the first body, it was what? T1. The final I have taken T, and for the second body, you see the initial temperature is T2, and the final I have taken it to be T. So this will be equals to what? 0. So this is how we can find. Now you see, there will be three cases here. Okay, so let's see first the case 1. Okay, case 1 is that if C1 and C2, okay, that is the specific heat, if it is independent, okay, is independent of temperature. If C1 and C2, they are independent of temperature, then what we can write? M1 C1, within the bracket we have T this is T, okay, T minus T1, okay, plus M2C2, within the bracket you have T minus T2, okay. Now you see here, this is the final temperature, this is the initial temperature of the first body, this is the final temperature, and this is the initial temperature of the second body. So this will be equals to what? 0. Now when you will solve this, you will get T is equals to M1 C1 T1 plus M2 C2 T2, this complete divided by M1 C1 plus M2 C2. So this is the formula that we will be using when C1 and C2, they are independent of temperature. All right. Now let's see the second case. Okay, the case 2. For case 2, what you will see, if two different samples of same material are there, okay, if two different sample, but the material is what? Same. If two different material of same sample is there, so in that case what you will see, since the material is what? Two different sample of same material, okay, this is material. Two different sample of same materials, that means the material is same, that means what? The specific heat will be same, C1 equals to C2, this is equals to what? C, right? In that case you can write T will be equals to what? It will be equals to N1 T1 plus N2 T2 divided by N1 plus N2. Now you see this formula, from where we have got this formula, okay. M1 it is the mass, right? N1 it is the number of moles, M is the molecular weight. We can write the mass is equals to molecular weight into with the number of moles. Similarly, we can write for M2 also, it will be N2 capital M. When you will substitute this value of M1 and M2 in the temperature, and C1 and C2, they were equal, then you will get the final temperature to be this, okay. So when you will be given different sample of same material, then you will use this formula to find the equilibrium temperature. The first case was that when C1 and C2, it is independent of temperature, in that case you will use this formula to find out the equilibrium temperature. So you need to remember these formulas. Now we will see the last case, okay, the third case. So case 3. The case 3 is what? If N1 is equals to N2. That means this time we are having two different samples of the same material and with the equal number of moles, okay. The moles are also equal. Then in that case what you will write? T will be equals to what? T1 plus T2 divided by 2. Then you will use this formula to find out the temperature of equilibrium, okay. So these are the three important conditions that you need to remember, and now we will solve a few problems so that the theory which we have read now, that will become more clear, okay. So let's start with the first question. So here what you are having, 10 gram of ice at 0 degree Celsius, it is added to a beaker containing 30 gram of water. So 10 gram of ice you are having, the temperature is 0 degrees Celsius for ice. 30 gram of water you are having, the temperature is 25 degrees Celsius for water. So you need to find the final temperature of the system when it comes in thermal equilibrium. So you have to find the final temperature. You need to find. So you see, whenever you are asked to find the final temperature, first you have to see the amount of heat available and the amount of heat required. Okay, when you will check this, keep in mind whenever the amount of heat will be available, okay, it is less than the amount of heat required, at that case the temperature will not change, okay, it will be same as it is. All right, so first we will see heat required, okay, for melting 0 degree ice. Heat required for melting 0 degree Celsius ice, okay. Melting ice at 0 degree Celsius. Now you see, we know Q, it is equals to what? Mass into with the latent heat, right? The mass was how much here? 10 gram. Latent heat of ice is 80. So it is 800 calorie. So this much amount of heat is required. Now we will see heat available. So to calculate the heat available, we will use the formula Q is equals to mCT. Okay, the mass is how much? 30 gram. So the specific heat of water is how much? 1, and the temperature is given 25. So when you will calculate this, you will get it to be 750 calorie. Now you see the heat available, it is less than the amount of heat required, right? You will write here heat available, it is less than heat required. Okay, so the final temperature na TF, it will be equals to 0 degrees Celsius only. Okay, because the amount of heat required is not up to the mark, sorry, the amount of heat available, it is not equal, it is not greater than the amount of heat required. So in that case the temperature will not change, it will be 0 degrees Celsius. All right, now let's see the next question. Here you are given a vessel has two compartments of volume V1 and V2 containing an ideal gas at pressure P1 and P2. So you have a compartment, okay, two compartments are there, and the volume is V1 and V2, pressure is P1 and P2, temperature is T1 and T2 respectively. Okay, so for the first compartment the volume is V1, pressure is P1 and the temperature is T1. For the second compartment the volume is V2, the temperature is T2 and the pressure is P2. So if the wall separating the compartment is removed, the resulting equilibrium temperature is what? So it is said that suppose these are the two compartments, okay? P1 and P2 are the pressure, T1 and T2 are the temperature, V1 and V2 are the volume. Now, when the compartment was having a wall, right? That wall is removed, then you need to find what? You need to find the temperature, that is the equilibrium temperature. All right. So this is also going to be very easy. We will use the principle of calorimetry, okay? Using calorimetry principle. So here you see, I have already said you na, when you are having what? Different samples of the same material. In that case, what is happening? The formula was what? For that case, the formula was T is equals to N1 T1 plus N2 T2 divided by N1 plus N2, right? This was the formula because you are having ideal gas. Yes or no? You are having here ideal gas. So in that case, the value of C will be what? Sorry. So in that case, the value of C will be equal. So you will use this formula. Okay. Now you see here, we know for ideal gas, okay? For ideal gas, what we know that PV, it is equals to what? nRT, right? So you can write what? Therefore, you can write P1 V1. Okay, it is equals to what? N1 R T1. Okay, and from here, if you see N1 T1, it is equals to what? P1 V1 by P1 V1 by what? This is N1 T1 P1 V1 by R, right? Is it clear? Similarly, you can write N2 also, na? Similarly, what you can write that N2 T2, it is equals to how much? P2 V2 by R. All right. Now, when you will write, this is the final temperature, the equilibrium temperature. You can write here what? P1 V1 by R plus P2 V2 by R. All right. In the denominator, you can write the value of what? N1 from this. Okay, it will be how much? P1 V1 by RT1 plus here you will have what? P2 V2 by RT2. Now, if you see here, P1 V1 by R, you can take common. Yes or no? So finally means the R will get cancelled na. This R will get cancelled. If you take 1 by R common na, this will get cancelled. In the numerator you will have P1 V1 plus P2 V2. This complete divided by what? You will have P1 V1. In here you will have only T1 because R is getting cancelled. Plus here you will have P2 V2 by T2. Right? So the correct answer is option C. Now let's check. This is the answer. P1 V1 plus P2 V2 divided by P1 V1 by T plus P2 V2 by T. So this was very simple. The only thing is that you have to remember the cases. Okay, read the question twice if you're having problem. Now let's see the next question. Okay, here it is said 10 gram of water at 70 degrees Celsius. It is mixed with 5 gram of water at 30 degrees Celsius. So water is at what? Water is at temperature 70 degrees Celsius. So you can write M1 is equals to 10 gram, right? T1 is equals to how much? 70 degrees Celsius. It is mixed with 5 gram of what? Water. That means here M2 is equals to what? 5 gram. And T2 is equals to how much? The second water means the second sample was having 30 degrees Celsius. Okay. So 10 gram of water, when it is mixed with 5 gram of water, the initial water was at 70 degrees Celsius and it was mixed with 30 degrees Celsius water. So in that case, you have to find the temperature of the equilibrium, right? Equilibrium temperature we are asked to find. Now you see here also what? The sample is what? Same, both are water. So the value of C will be same, yes or no? C1 it will be equals to C2. So the final temperature formula will be what? M1 T1 plus M2 T2 divided by M1 plus M2. Alright. So M, the value of M is what? 10 M1 and it is 70 plus M2 is what? 5 into it T2 is 30 divided by M1 plus M2. That means 10 plus 5. Right? So if you see here in the numerator you will have what? This is 700. Okay. Plus 150 divided by 15. So you can write it as 850 divided by 15. So when you will calculate this, you will get T is equals to 56.67 degrees Celsius. Okay, the correct option is option A. You can just divide and say. You can use the calculator also. Okay. So you have to just see the correct formula. Now let's see the last question. Here it is said 0.5 kg of ice at 0 degrees Celsius. It is added to a beaker containing 4.5 kg of water at 20 degrees Celsius. So 0.5 kg of ice, it is mixed with 4.5 kg of what? Water. Okay, and the temperature of ice is what? Temperature of ice is 0 degrees Celsius and it is mixed with 20 degrees Celsius water. So you have to find the final temperature of the system when it is coming in thermal equilibrium. So you see this is ice, this is water. Okay, ice is a lower temperature, water is higher temperature. So heat will transfer from what? Hotter body to colder body. Then ice will change its phase, right? And when it will change its phase, the temperature will be constant because of latent heat. Okay, in that case the temperature is not changing. Now you see this water now, it will be in thermal equilibrium. Then you will have a final temperature Tf. This temperature we need to calculate. So for this we will have three terms. Okay, for the change in heat. Okay, that we will calculate. The first is for water, the second is for what? Ice. This is the transfer, this is the heat gain, and this is what? This is the amount of heat which is required to raise the temperature of 0 degrees Celsius. Okay, so here you see the first term will be what? Mass. It is 4.5 into 10 to the power of 3 because kg is there, converting it in gram. C will be 1, the specific heat of water. Okay, MC del T will be how much? Final temperature Tf minus with 20, the initial temperature, plus now del Q2. Mass is 0.5, so it is kg. So I'm multiplying with 10 to the power 3 into the latent heat of ice 80. Again plus mass of ice is 0.5 into, this time it is changing its phase. So water's specific heat will come 1 into it, the change in the temperature del T. It will be how much? Del T will be equals to how much this time? It will be T minus 0. So this is equals to 0. So if you do this, you will get 4500. Okay, TF minus, this will be 4,500 into it. This will be, I think so, 9,000. Okay, plus this will give you 0.5, 500 into with 800. It will be how much? 30 will come and 140. Okay, plus this will give you how much? 0.5. Here also 110 to the power 3 will be there. Okay, because you are converting gram into kg, so it is 500 T. So this is equals to 0. This is TF. Okay, all right. Now when you will calculate this, this will give you how much? This is giving you 5000 TF. 9,000 minus, if you do, this is 9,000 minus with this one, when you will subtract this two, this is 90,000. Okay, see the zeros, it is 20 and 30 will be there. 45 into it to 90. Okay, 10 was missing. So when you will do this 90,000 minus with what? 40,000. How much you will have? 9 minus 4 is what? 5. Okay, so minus this much. Okay, 4 zeros are as it is. 9 minus 4 is 5. All right, this is equals to 0. So you can write TF. It is equals to how much? This 4 zeros. This is 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So 5. How much? 10. So it is how much? 10 degrees Celsius. All right. So your answer is what? Option C. That is 10 degrees Celsius. So this was very simple. Just make sure that you do the calculations correctly. Okay. Don't do the mistakes which I have done. So that's all in this video. Thank you so much. Have a good day.